What is up, guys? Welcome back to some True Crime Tuesday. And as you read the title, yes, we will be talking about a child killer today. So sit back, sit tight. I would say relax, but you definitely probably will not relax after this. And just listen in to this story. That's Sir William. He's giving me kisses. Anyways. I have my notes in front of me because I do have a lot of shit to cover, like yes and no. I'm terrible with dates, terrible with names. So yeah, just in case you guys are like, what is she doing? Doesn't matter. Let's get into the story. So Mary Bell was born May 26, 1957. She grew up in the suburb city Newcastle, which is located in England. Her mother was a 17-year-old sex worker who was unwed and unstable. The father was not in the photo. He was a habitual criminal. He was in and out of jail all the time, and he was last put into jail for a robbery. So Mary didn't know who her father was. Betty McCricket, her mother, was not a good mother. She started selling Mary as young as 4 fucking years old. So it's safe to say that Mary had a pretty fucked up childhood. The mother would leave her with acquaintances, people she barely knew. There was one time she had left her at an abortion clinic with some lady, some random bitch, right? Even the family said that they're pretty sure that Betty had tried to kill Mary a few times. Once before she was accidentally pushed out of a window. And then another time was when she consumed sleeping pills. Accidentally. But I guess it was told that she would apparently tell Mary that they were candy. And yeah, she'd be popping them like candy. So yeah, they lived in the house was, sparse. It was a mess. It just wasn't a good household. It was told that I can't even talk right now. This story is just so much going on in my head. People thought that she had Munchausen by proxy. Munchausen by proxy. I don't know if I'm saying it right. But it's basically this disease that parents have that they like the attention they get when their child is sick. So people believe that that's what she had. Mary didn't really have a good record at school. She was a chronic liar. She was always fussing. She would just be kicking and yelling, and she would always be voicing how she would want to hurt people. Okay, so on May 25th, 1968, just a day before Mary turns 11, 2 boys go into an abandoned house, and then they find the body of 4-year-old Martin Brown. Mary and her friend, Norma Bell, not related, ended up following the boys into the house. The cops, saw them in there, had to kick them out. It was assumed that the boy... let me backtrack. Her friend Norma Bell, she was 13 years old, so she was a little bit older than her, but it was told that Mary was, in charge of what was going on. So, it was assumed that the cops didn't think that the boy was murdered because there was a pill bottle by him. He had, no marks or anything, so they just thought he had accidentally swallowed some pills. He had accidentally swallowed some pills, right? The next day, Norma's father catches Mary, choking Norma's father catches Mary choking his daughter. And he, slaps her and, tells her, get the fuck out, basically. Sends her home. Same day, she's just popping off. A school was vandalized. and it said fuck off, spelled Fuchof. Fuck off. We murder, watch out, Fanny and faggot. I think Fanny means pussy. I don't know. Faggot doesn't mean like a faggot. How it is in the US and England, it's like a cigarette. But who knows? They could have meant it the other way. But yeah, they signed it Fanny and faggot, or she did. And then it also wrote, we did murder Martin Brown. Fuck you, you bastard. And for some reason, the police thought that this was just a prank. It's not really a funny prank. I mean, a kid just fucking died, so you would assume they would take that serious. Maybe not, because like the spelling was obviously a child who wrote it, so maybe they just thought some kids were being fucked up and stupid. Who knows? I don't know. So 4 days pass. Mary goes to the Brown residence. She knocks on the door and she asks if she could see Martin. And the mom's like, no, Martin's dead. And Mary's like, oh, I know. I want to see him in his coffin. I want to see him in his coffin. I don't even know what I would do as a mother. Like, I would be so horrified. Like, what the fuck? It just, like, goes to show you, like, her thought process. Like, this little girl was crazy. So that had happened, right? 2 months pass and a kid named Brian Howell goes missing, and Brian is only 3 years old, right? He goes missing. Mary ends up telling his sister, like, I think I saw him playing by these concrete blocks near a lot. And so, you know, the police, they go check it out. They find his body, and there was like strangulation marks on his neck, but it was like light force. Like, they could tell basically them with smaller hands. You know, they knew they were basically looking for a child because of that. When they found his body, this is pretty like gruesome. They found his legs. Sorry, I'm gonna back up. So he had cuts on his legs, his stomach, and his genitals. They were mutilated, and there was the letters M and N carved into his stomach. And there was a razor nearby and a pair of fucked up scissors nearby. So yeah, the cops basically knew after they took the body and checked it out, whatever, I can't think of the right word. Yeah, they knew that they were looking for a fucking child. Like, how crazy. So the cops are like in the neighborhood. They're interviewing a bunch of kids. They end up interviewing Mary and Norma, and they keep like switching up their stories. They're like really creeped out by Mary. Norma keeps giggling. Like, it's just a fucked up situation. And then at one point, Mary like tries to pin it on like some boy, saying that he remembers Brian walking with the boy, and the boy ended up hitting him for no reason. But then when they went to go talk to the boy, they found out that he was like at the airport at the time. So it obviously wasn't the boy. And a key factor to this is like, yeah, she said that the boy was playing with scissors, which was a confidential item that like nobody knew about, but she was talking about it, so the cops were like, okay. So yeah, she would like describe the scissors to the fucking team. Like, this bitch gave herself away. Baby light. So basically, Brian is buried August 7th. Detective Detective Dobson was there, and she's watching Mary. Mary was there standing in front of the house, and she was laughing and rubbing her hands together. Laughing and rubbing her hands together. When I read that, I'm like, this is like a fucking movie. Why isn't this a movie? Like, what the fuck? So I'm sure like this cop is thinking like, this cop's basically, I can't have this bitch, I'm sure she doesn't say that, on the street, like she's gonna hurt another kid. And basically when they took Mary in and said that she was gonna be arrested for murder, Mary replies, all right by me. Like, she didn't really show sympathy, she didn't show that she cared, it was like whatever. So fast forward, she's in jail, just kind of like showing you more of her thought process. A stray cat ends up in the jail. Mary like grabs the cat by the neck, and the guard is like, you know, don't hurt the cat, and Mary responds, oh no, she's fine, she doesn't feel anything, I like hurting little things that can't bite back, is what she said. And then another incident, the police said that Mary wanted to be a nurse so that she could stick things in people because she really likes hurting people. Yeah, it's just crazy. Apparently she had like chilled out later down the road. The guard said that she was actually really smart and sharp. Apparently she was a chronic bedwetter, which is there's like all these factors that if this person shows, then they could possibly, it's like signs of being molested when they were younger. And so the factors are chronic bedwetting, arson, killing animals, and I think there's like one more. But there was like no proof that she did arson, but she was a chronic bedwetter. So it's a possibility, but yeah, not every person that's a chronic bedwetter, just want to say, doesn't mean that they were molested. Oh my god, that scared me. And apparently Mary had told the guards that before, when she would be at home and she would, you know, pee her bed, her mom would like rub her face in it, and her mom would even put the mattress outside for all the neighbors to see, to like humiliate her basically. This is really fucked up. So let's see. So during the trial, Norma was acquitted of all charges. I really have no idea. She was like bawling on the stand. She was just like sobbing. She had a really big family. She had like 8 brothers or something. Like they were all there standing by her side. But Mary didn't have any of that. She was on the stand crying too and shit apparently. But she had her fucking lunatic mother there, and her mom was like wearing this weird ass blonde wig, and it would like fall off every time she would like freak out and start crying. It was just like a weird scene. But yeah, she was found guilty for 2 counts of manslaughter. I still don't get how the other girl didn't get any time for it. Yeah. So they didn't know where to put her because they've never had a case like this before. They didn't have a place to put her. So they ended up putting her in like a detention center for boys, but they like separated her. And while she was in there, she had escaped with 2 other boys, but she was caught. I'm getting this mixed up. It was either 2 days later or like 2 weeks later. Not exactly sure, but what the fuck ever. So she gets caught. She's put back into jail. She's in jail basically, and she is released she's released in 1980. She's 23 years old, and hella people, like England is like pissed off. Like hella people there are pissed, which I can't believe that she's even. Hearing noises. I can't even believe that she's out. She was granted anonymity. I don't know if I'm saying it right, but basically she's able to like change her identity, and she became a mother and a grandma. And that is the story of Mary fucking Bell. Nobody knows where she's at today. She's under a name nobody knows. I don't know. Would you want to know? I was listening to a podcast today about it, and if you were like the grandchild, would you want to know if your grandma was like a murderer? I would definitely want to know. I would totally want to know. Some people said no because they would want to like have that version of like their grandma being good in their head as long as like, you know, forever. They wouldn't want to see their grandma as that. But if that's what your grandma did, that's, you know, I would want to know. I would want to know. So yeah, crazy fucking story. You just looking at the photos, she just looks like a little button nose little girl. But it's almost like people who grow up in households like that, they're almost like doomed, you know? It's almost like she wasn't given a chance, but that's also not an excuse for what she did to those poor boys, you know? And it's so fucked up that she's like literally living a life, had a kid, she's a grandma, and like this family still has nothing, you know? Their kid is still gone. So I think it's pretty crazy that she's out, even though she was super young when she did it. She seemed very aware of what she knew she was doing. Like, she was talking like her vocabulary, she was like, oh, what are you charging me for? You know, like she was, she knew damn well what the fuck she was doing. But I hope you guys, enjoyed this creepy true crime story. Come again next Tuesday for another true crime. If there's somebody you would like to hear about, I would definitely take some suggestions. If not, I'm just gonna pick another one that's been like in my head. And I got this information from, most of it from my favorite murder podcast, and then there was like another website, murderpedia.org. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Be safe, lock your doors, and yeah, thanks for watching. Bye.